Greetings, my lovelies. Hi, it's Emmy. Welcome back. Today, I am going to be tasting some things I found in the frozen food aisle. Besides ice cream, I really don't go in the frozen aisle very often, so I was surprised to see some of the things they had there, including this. And this is Hostess DeepFried Twinkies. It's funnel cake battered sponge cake. Holy smokes. And you can cook it conventional oven, toaster oven, and deep fryer. And do not over bake it because it may cause the cream filling to melt. Whoa. And they indeed fried. I'm gonna pop this into the toaster oven for 8 minutes. Be right back. See you in a little bit. There is our Twinkie. Smells good. Deep fried and sweet. A lot like the smells of a donut shop. It feels pretty crispy. Sounds pretty crispy. Whoa, look at that. So it looks like I didn't overbake it, which is good. And there is the familiar yellow cake. All right, let's give this a taste. Here we go. That's not too bad. So first off, I should probably mention that I am not a huge fan of Twinkies in the first place, but this is actually better than a typical Twinkie in the sense that it's warmed up. So you really get a lot of those sweet flavors. It definitely tastes fried. It doesn't feel greasy, although it does have that kind of familiar donut-y fried flavor to it. If you like those rolls of mini donuts, you'll really, really like this because this is exactly what this tastes like. To me, it tastes more like those mini donuts more than a Twinkie. It has that same cakey texture, except this is warm. And that same kind of nutmeggy flavor too. Fried coating on the outside is actually quite thin, but it's enough to give it that donut-y fried flavor. And the Twinkie itself is actually really light and fluffy, but as you kind of work through it in your mouth, it kind of gets subsequently denser. So that was deep fried Twinkies. I would imagine if you actually deep fried them, it would taste more authentic. The crust, I would imagine, would get a little bit crisper. It would definitely be greasier, but it would probably taste more like what you would actually get at a fair. And this is Oreo Churros. And this is another classic fair item, but this is Oreo flavored. I have never had one of these before. So traditional churro would be more of a just donut on the outside covered in cinnamon sugar. It has a similar kind of shape, but it's more kind of vanilla egg flavored, and it's not cream filled. Short little churros, sugar topping that's separate. So after you bake them, you roll them into that. And these are at a 400-degree oven for 7 minutes. All right, be right back. These smell pretty good. Oreo sugar. Roll them while they're hot. So I like this. This kind of gives it an air of kind of authenticity, I think. And unlike the Twinkies, these don't really smell fried. They actually smell more baked and more like chocolate cake. And you know, that's pretty much what I would imagine an Oreo churro to taste like. The texture is actually pretty spot on. It's got a little bit of that chew. This has a cream filling in it, which is completely different. It is a little bit dry, and it is missing the kind of greasiness that comes with a churro that's deep fried. So I think in the sense of having a more authentic flavor, these would probably also taste better deep fried as well. Very, very reminiscent of a churro, especially with that crunchy, sugary coating on the outside. And in terms of chocolate flavor, it's not overly intense. It tastes kind of like deep fried chocolate cake with a little bit of a cream filling in the middle. And because these are a little dry, I really want to dip these into something. I think it would go really well with maybe coffee, something that's not sweet because these are already so sweet already. So the next item I got are these. And these are Totino's stuffed nachos. So this is queso flavor. So as kids, my brother and I grew up eating Totino's pizza rolls. We never had these before, so I'm not sure how long these have been around, but it's the first time I've ever seen them before. Wow, these are interesting. Look at those. They're huge. Big triangles. And they've got this kind of horizontal striped pattern on them. Sizzle it away. They're not that crispy. The corners are crispy, but the center part is kind of doughy. Ooh. And from my days of eating pizza rolls, I know that this filling is molten, so I'm gonna let this cool off a little bit. I can't tell you how many times I've burnt the roof of my mouth from eating pizza rolls. It smells really good, kind of corny and cheesy and chilied. All right, let's give that a go. And those are good. They're a lot like pizza roll. The crust is simultaneously crunchy, fried, and a little bit doughy. And the inside has molten hot cheese that's a little bit stretchy still, and then infused with lots of bell pepper chili flavor in there. Really good, actually. The crust is a little bit different than the pizza rolls. It tastes like there's some corn in there, but like pizza rolls, these are both greasy on the outside and on the inside. And I think that's probably what makes them good. Yum. And if you don't know what queso is, queso means cheese in Spanish, but it's also the name of a very popular cheese dip down in Texas that uses melty cheese, sometimes Velveeta, and Rotel canned peppers, and mixed together to get this really oozy cheese, warm, chili dip. And that was Totino's stuffed nachos. They're pretty great for what they are. I have to admit that I am probably biased because I did, like I mentioned, grow up eating pizza rolls, but yeah, very familiar, nostalgic, and delicious. Healthy, good for you? Not at all. I mean, what do you expect to find from stuffed frozen nachos? Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you guys learned something. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like to see me taste test. And yeah, I shall see you in my next video. Oh, don't forget to follow me on social media, share this video with your friends, and like this video if you liked it. And yeah, I'll see you in my next video. Toodaloo, take care, bye!